Let me move now to phase 3, which is true for a minority of the world's population. In stage 3, we have aging. With the first phase, when the total subphase, when the total population is still growing. A second subphase, when it becomes stationary, that is, the births more or less equal the deaths. And a third subphase, which has occurred for Italy, for example, when it's actually decreasing. Take France and the United States. The United States is far more perturbed than is France. France, like India, like South Africa, is one of the gradual countries because of the way that its fertility decline occurred. If we look at the cohort flows, France has a bit of a bounce earlier on, but by and large has been relatively smooth. In contrast, the United States, with its baby boom, its echo of the baby boom, then echo of the baby boom, is much more perturbed. All right, now in these graphs, I used phasic changes versus disordered cohort flows. Phasic means more general. And two sets of trends were outlined. The cohort flows are, of course, merely a component of phasic changes. I recognize that. But I've covered them here in order to remind us how complex development planning may be. We have to plan for peak cohort flows. And then there may be an on again as the cohort comes up, the wave, and then as it ebbs, we have to turn it off. So how do you manage that for planning? Think of a suburb around a city. We've suddenly got an in-movement of young couples. Okay, we've got to build a primary school. So primary school's built. But fairly soon thereafter, children move into the middle school. So you've got to build a middle school. And then they move into a high school. So you've got to build a high school. But by that stage, the primary school may be empty because there aren't primary school children. And then the children of the people who moved in, some of them may settle there, and you reopen the primary school again. So that's what I'm talking about in these cohort flows, that sort of effect. We may, in fact, moreover, have two or more cohorts peaking simultaneously. And that's very problematic because clearly it produces what we call intergenerational competition. And think what this means for health planning. You may have populations nearing retirement, demanding certain things from the health system, and you may also have people who are at the peak of their reproductive ages, demanding certain amounts, and their children also demanding certain things from the system.